Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. In today's video I'm gonna show you how I created this look for Pongal, because Pongal is basically, I've seen everybody creating very traditional makeup look, but I wanted to create a very modern yet ethnic kind of a makeup look. I feel anyone can pull off this look because you can wear it for parties, as well as this yet looks traditional because I'm wearing this sari. It gives you that ethnic feeling, whereas where my choker and the rest of my makeup looks a little bit more modern. So yeah, why not wear a little bit modern for Pongal? To know how I created this look, then please keep on watching. First things first, I'm gonna start off with my skincare today. I'm using the Estée Lauder Advanced Night Repair Serum. I really love this lately. I'm just so addicted to it. I actually overuse it, that's the problem here. And it also makes my skin really smooth and supple. For my eye cream, I use the Estée Lauder eye cream as well. It's not very impressive, but it's kind of okay for me. And yeah, my skincare is done. Now I'm moving on to my primer. I'm using the Laura Mercier blurring primer. I'm just patting it in the center points of my face where I tend to get oily, so that it just makes my skin smooth and, you know, controls the oil. And also my foundation glides on easier when I apply this foundation. So the next step is my favorite. This is Hollywood Flawless Filter from Tilbury in the shade Tan. This is the most beautiful cream highlighters I've ever had. It has zero shimmers, which I really love, and you know, it gives you that natural gleam which we love to have from, you know, within the skin kind of glow. One dupe which is available in India is the Chambour's Illuminator, Liquid Illuminator. It's always out of stock. If you find it, and it's the similar product to it. I'm just using my fingers to blend in, and then yeah, my base is like my prepping is almost done. Now I'm moving on to the color correcting part. I'm using my regular Makeup Revolution orange corrector in the shade orange and covering all the hyperpigmented areas. It's very essential that we cover up the hyperpigmentations, because otherwise our foundation, even if it is a right shade, it's gonna turn gray in these areas. So make sure you cover up orange corrector. Not everybody actually needs orange corrector, but mostly Indian skin tones, Asian, like most all of the South Indian skin tones will mostly need it, because you know, we always tend to have hyperpigmentations around our mouth and under our eyes. So then now I'm taking the sponge and taking out all the excess product, if in case I have any, because you need to have very thin layer of every product so that they don't look cakey. Now to cover up the concealer, orange corrector itself, I'm using a concealer from Too Faced Born This Way concealer in the shade Warm Caramel. If I'm not wrong, I'll list it in the description box below. I'm just covering up the orange corrector so that it doesn't show or peek through when I apply the foundation. So this is neutralizing the orange corrector. So after this step, my skin will almost look like concealed, so I can directly move on to my foundation. It's optional, but this step is very, very essential as well. I did not do it in my earlier videos because I wasn't aware of this thing, but then later on, when I did some research about why my orange peeks through my foundation, then this was the thing I found. This was the solution. You have to neutralize the orange after you apply it so that it doesn't show through your foundation. Sometimes the orange corrector can even change your foundation's color, which is really awkward for us. So make sure you conceal the orange corrector itself and smooth out everything, and then move on to your foundation. After applying it with a brush, I'm using my beauty sponge to actually take out excess product. After each step, when we do this, our makeup is going to look even more flawless, because you're taking out all the excess product which we might have applied by mistake. So here, can you see it's already concealed and very evened out. Now I'm going to move on to my foundation. I'm using the Too Faced Born This Way foundation in the shade Maple. It might look a little darker on camera, but it really blends well with the skin. I go half a shade darker with my foundation because it photographs well and it also looks a little bit more natural rather than going a shade fairer. It's just my opinion. It depends on what you prefer to wear. Now I'm actually using the same concealer I used to correct the orange corrector on the high points of my face and also to lift my eyes a little. It's a little too light for me, but it works perfectly as a highlighting concealer. Now I'm also using a cream contour from Makeup Revolution. It's the concealer from Makeup Revolution in the shade C16. It's just 3 shades darker to me, and it gives me that depth for my hollows. When you apply foundation and concealer, your face gets flat, which is not a very appealing look. So when you contour it, your face gain back the shape. So that's what I'm doing here, sculpting my nose and my cheeks. But make sure you don't use a color which is too dark for you. That will make your blending really difficult for you, and it'll also look really harsh on the skin. And now I have blended my concealer. I'm gonna set everything with a powder now. I'm using my all-time favorite powder from Laura Mercier, the Laura Mercier translucent setting powder. Before I apply the powder, I'm just checking if there's any creases. I'm blending it with my sponge and then applying the powder to it, because sometimes it might settle into the fine lines. So I'm just applying the powder underneath and pressing it well so that it sets in place. And also I'm applying it over my lids as well to prep for my eyeshadow. Now moving on to my eyeshadow, I'm using the James Charles palette from Murphy. I am using the shade red, lightest red from palette on my crease area, and applying it above my crease and blending it really well. I'm blending it so long so that it blends well. And also eyeshadows have this tendency of getting absorbed into the skin, like they disappear after some time. So that's why we need these kind of shades from light to dark, so that they don't disappear easily, like they don't fade off. So we're gonna start from the lightest shade, or even a shade very close to your skin tone, and from there you start the color gradients. So that's what I'm trying to do here. This color is very close to my skin tone, and I'm applying it above my crease. Now taking a shade a little bit more darker than that and applying it right below and exactly on my crease line and blending it really well. As you see, it goes like a gradient, and it's also easier for you to blend in. I am not a very big fan of packing colors and blending them. It gets much more difficult. So it's always better you take, build up the color so that even if you make any mistakes, you're gonna clear up easily, rather than just packing on all the pigment at once and then blending. Now I'm just lightly doing a cut crease with my concealer so that the color which I'm gonna apply it on the lid is gonna pop really well. So I'm using the same concealer which I used for my face to cut crease my eyelid. Now taking the darkest red from the palette and patting it on to the place where I apply the concealer so that it adheres to the concealer. Like, since it's wet, it can stick on really well, and the pigment will also be a little bit more darker. so the concealer actually acts like a glue as well. So I was trying to pack the colors on. When you pack it, you know, you can actually load in colors for the lid alone. So for the lid, you just have to pack it well with the flat brush. Just to add a little bit of depth, I'm using a light brown from the same palette to the outer corners of the eyes. Nothing major, I just want the red to be the you know, hero of the look. So I'm not gonna ruin that look. I'm not gonna make it you know, change the look of it. So I'm just adding a little bit of the brown only on the outer corners, like the outer V's, ever so slightly, so that the red is not ruined. For my eyeliner, I'm going to use the Inglot gel eyeliner in the shade 77. This is my favorite eyeliner ever, and you know, I've not changed to anything else after I got this. I'm giving a slight baby wing for my eyes because I have hooded eyelids and I do not want my wing, you know, to be really long, because anyways it's gonna fold at my hoods of the eye. So I'm giving it really small baby wing with a very thin on the lash line. So I'm adding a little bit of kajal pencil on the upper waterline. Now as you see, one eye was much more darker and the other, the skin was peeking through, so I did that on the upper waterline, and then I dusted off the baking powder which I applied before, and I'm gonna powder the rest of my face with the MAC mineralized skin finish in the shade dark. It's a very lightweight powder and doesn't have much of any coverage, so I really like it, because you know, compacts with coverage like actually tend to change the look of your foundation, which I do not like. So I like any powder translucent or, you know, very sheer coverage. So now moving on to my eyebrows, I'm using my Benefit Goof Proof pencil in the shade brown. I guess it's number 5. I'm just filling in the sparse areas. Since I don't have very thin eyebrows, I don't have to do anything major with my eyebrows, luckily, and I'm just filling in the gaps in between and framing the eyebrows. That's it. Now this step is also very important to set your eyebrows in place. I'm using a brow mascara from Anastasia Beverly Hills in the shade Ebony to set my eyebrow hair in place so that it doesn't move around for the rest of the day. And for my lashes, I'm using the Ardell lashes in Baby Wispies. It's very comfortable on the lids and also very natural looking, which I really love. For my mascara today, I'm using Too Faced Better Than Sex mascara before I apply my lashes. To, you know, elevate the look of this eye, I'm gonna add a little bit of liquid glitter from Nicka K. I don't remember the shade. I will just link it down in the description box below. I'm just taking in my liner brush and applying it right above my black winged eyeliner which I created, to have this slight, you know, glittery kind of a different, you know, it just adds a little bit of slight glam to it, but nothing major. And for my bronzer, I'm using my Charlotte Tilbury bronzer in the shade dark. This is a beautiful bronzer and it blends like dream, so I really love it. It's a very big pan, so you know, it's like an investment, so it's kind of fine. It's really nice for me. I really love it. For my blush, I'm using the Milani Spiced Rose Baked Blush. This is the most favorite blush at the moment. I really love how peachy and yet still really shimmery and glowy it is. I really love this blush. You know, I somehow found this on the website and I was like gravitated towards the shade, and I knew it's gonna suit my skin tone, and I'm just lightly applying it on the tips of my nose as well. And for my highlight, I'm using my Dior highlighter. I'm gonna mix up all the 4 shades and apply it for my highlighting at the high points of my face, like my cheeks, nose, and above my brow line. Is that a word? Above my brows, I meant. And also I have the habit of highlighting my brows with the same highlighter which I use for my face. Even the inner corners of my eyes, I do not like using different shades for highlighting. And I set everything with MAC Fix Plus, and now I'm gonna dry it, quickly dry it with a fan. For my lip liner, I'm using the K Beauty's lip liner in the shade, some pink shade, for my lip line. And then I'm gonna use MAC's Ruby Woo for my lipstick today. That shade is like to die for, the best red lipstick anybody can own. So that's all for the video. The lipstick is done and the makeup is almost done. I'll just wear my outfit and have some bindi on, and yeah, that's it. That's the finished look. So this is the finished look. Hope you all enjoy this video, and if you all did, please give it a thumbs up, and also don't forget to subscribe to my channel if you like my videos. And yeah, meet you in another one. Bye guys.